right, good morning. It's July 28th. It's a Thursday, a few minutes before the open. Hope everyone is doing well out there. Hope you're having a good day. I'm going to mute myself for just a second, let people join, and we'll look at the market here in just a minute. All right, here we are, just a minute into the open. I'll go ahead and annotate the opening range. There we go. All right. So big update yesterday, wasn't it? Fed did their thing and spoke, and then the market just really rallied. Looks around like 130. Big move up on the 2 minute here. That's a lot of ground it covered. Looks like over 20 points in just 2 minutes there. And then it just went higher and higher and higher the rest of the day. So let's see what this guy does today. Really don't have any news this morning. Nothing to get too excited about. And it's my second day back after about 2 weeks of being off. So, gonna get my bearings, let the market set up, see what's going on, and then trade accordingly. Trade according to the plan. So we're above our overnight high. Overnight high was around 40.30. We're about 40.38 right now. Still got another 2 minutes on the 5-minute bar. So it's been a while since we've been up in this territory. It's been, looks like since early June. We're last here, yeah, early June, so almost 2 months. Market trying to push a bit higher. Hey, morning, Jay. Buenos dias. Let's see if we push higher here. So again, yesterday, pretty big move. From the low to the high, almost 100 points, or probably right at about 100. No, almost like 90 something points. Pretty big move. So it's Watch today's price action, see what the market wants to do. Get a feel for tempo and then trade accordingly, right? Good little head fake by the bulls there. Had this looked like it could have pushed higher and then it just come down. So maybe we need to go lower before we go higher. Again, our orange lines are just the opening range. That's the first minute of price action, the high and the low. Got looks like about an 8-point, maybe 7-point range there. Green dotted line, that's the overnight high. Red dotted line, that's the overnight low. We are about 10 minutes into the trading day, getting ready to finish up on this 5-minute candle. See if we retrace a bit, or if we hold it here. Just observing right now. Just observing. It's a lot of what we do, isn't it? Just watching, waiting, being patient. Being patient. Let the market set up. Letting it show you what it wants to do. Got another minute and a half on the 5-minute bar. We've got some decent downward action here. So yesterday round one with the FOMC, a lot of movement back and forth, huh? And the market finally blasted off, got down to that 67, 68 level, just went right up. All right, pretty good down movement. Pretty good downward movement here. So definitely different tempo than yesterday, which every day is different. Let's see what ensues. Okay, so we've got some pretty decent downward pressure here this morning. Earlier I thought 20 could have held, but obviously that hasn't happened. So still just in watch and observe mode, just waiting. You never really know the opportunities the market's going to give you. Getting closer to that overnight low at 4,003. I would think we could see a bit of a pop there, at least a stall for a minute if we don't just push right through it. You would think anyone who shorted up high would be probably trying to take a little bit off the table right here. Plenty of time in the day. We're 17, 18 minutes in. No need to get excited, right? Mr. Bannett. Well, I don't really know what's happening just yet. Or maybe you're saying, what's happening? What's up, man? What's going on? How you doing? We're just watching and seeing what the market's gonna do, what it's trying to do, trying to get a tab on tempo and make a decision from there. All right, so getting a little bit of a response here, down at 06. Again, we'll watch I'm watching, I watch the daily, the 15, the 5, and the 1 minute. So maybe on this chart, let's see, here's the 1 minute. I know this can be a bit much sometimes. I get a lot of my bearings from the 5 minute. I really just watch the 1 minute for nuance. Little tips. Okay, so we got a new 5 minute bar. Getting a little pop there, 05, 06. Didn't quite come down to the overnight low. We got pretty close, probably within about 2.5 points. Overnight low is our red dotted line right here. Oh, it's also it's very close to the halfback. So if I put a fib on, I don't trade a bunch off a fib, but if we look at the move that happened yesterday, the big push up, that overnight level is about halfback. Halfback from this move we've just seen, at least if you go down to like this 05 level, it's about 23. So we push down, if we came up, 23 would be about the halfway mark. All right, boys and girls, we got some volatility today. We got some movement. So it looks like around, what was it, 7:30 this morning, this area was defended, this 4003. If I drag this screen in, we're looking at the 5 minute here, and here's the 15. The gray shaded area is the 15-minute chart. So we can see we came down here, came up, something happened here with price movement, went down to this level, defended it, came right back up, but now we're stuck here below it. So a lot of watching the market is just trying to make sense of what's going on, not necessarily why. I mean, I could care less about news and who said what or who thinks what, but it's what's going on. What is the market doing? What's the tempo? What's the pace like? Who's excited? Who's discouraged? As far as like bulls versus bears. Okay, well, let me draw this. This is important here. So this was our range all overnight. That area was defended, meaning it held and then it came back up. But here on this move, we've just taken it out by a decent amount, getting back into that big run that we had yesterday. On the 5 minute, here's the big pop up. Big pop up. So let's see what we get. Still looking at the 5 minute, just very, very bearish. Just down, down, down. Definitely some good price action. All right, 5 minute bar is almost wrapped up. Let's refresh our memories. Let's go back to yesterday. Looks like 88. So 88 is kind of a crucial level, 88 to 85. Trying to be a bit more selective in the trades that I take, and I want to do a better job of explaining what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, where my target is, where would price have to go for me to know that I'm wrong. All right, we're 2.5 minutes through this 5 minute bar that we're currently watching. I've got the 1 minute pulled up here, so that's what should be on your screen. Want to see where this 5 minute bar closes. We've still got a little time. Definitely a decent move downward. We've shed about 45 points since the open, or since the high of the day, which was right by the open. like I mentioned yesterday, there's some days where I'm quite active within the first hour. There's other days where I don't place a trade in the first 2 hours. So just depends. Every day is different and unique. Still got another almost 30 seconds, a little over 30 seconds till we get a new 5 minute bar. We'll shift this to a 5. I'll probably eventually get to a point where I just keep this one time frame, but I'm just wanting to show people who are watching like different views, different vantage points. Just leave it on the 1 for right now. Alright, so we pierced through that overnight low. And we've almost got, we're up above it here. 5 minute bar is just about done. Oh, sorry about that. And let's see if the bulls push it up a little bit. First spot of contention I feel would be 12, then 18 to 20. I feel like they'd have their work form cut out for them up there. Oh yeah, Mr. Bannett. I just keep my charts pretty simple. I don't have any indicators or moving averages or anything like that. Not to say that's wrong. It's just fine. But just personally, I'm just watching the daily, the 15-minute, 5-minute, and 1 minute. I'm just watching price action. Watching to see what it does at different levels. David Garra said, looking to get into some calls in the next 10 minutes. Might not be bad. All right, so we're back at 12 there, 40.12. That's where we sold off, had, spike down, probably some profit taking up and then push down. So we're back at that 12 level. Let's see how we react there. Let's see what we do. So a little reprieve for the bears for the moment. Still holding above that overnight low. Still just in watch and observe mode for me right now. Nothing that's really got me too excited yet as far as trade I want to take. We pierced a bit lower than I thought we would on that down move, getting a little bit below, a little bit further below that overnight low. I'm just looking at the overnight price action. Seems like the bulk of the time was spent between about 40.13 and about 40.22. Doesn't necessarily mean there was a lot of volume there. The volume, could have been light, which is way lighter than the regular trading hours, but at 40.13 to 40.22 is where the market spent a decent amount of time. Then as we got closer to the open, there was a bit more action and movement. So just some commentary there. You get what you pay for, right? David Garr, looks like you haven't bought the calls yet. Let's see what happens here at the overnight low. I've got a sneaking suspicion, but I won't. I'm not going to share it. I don't want to throw anyone off, and if I'm not taking a trade, there's no reason to be airing my opinions about stuff. Like airing my dirty laundry. Although I do. I don't think that's bad. You can always mute me, right? Or turn me off. So I was talking yesterday about, watching the markets. To me, it would be similar to watching someone draw something. And let's say I happen to come across them and they're an hour into drawing something, and I look at the picture and it makes absolutely no sense to me. It's just a bunch of random lines with no coherent meaning. I can't tell what's being drawn. And then maybe at some point, maybe it's 5 minutes after I watch or an hour after I'm watching, I notice that, they're painting a skyline, or there's a meadow, or it's a lake, or a boat, or a car, or a person. At some point, the picture might crystallize for me where I can have a good idea as far as what's going on, what the artist is trying to convey, what they're drawing. And for me, watching the market it functions in a similar way in that, there's some times where I've got a good idea of what I think the market's doing and I want to be involved right off the bat. Then there's other times where I just need to give it a little bit longer to set up to try to get a good feel for the picture that's being painted. And so if we're trying to guess about what the picture is, if we're throwing money at it, which trading it is, I guess it's a game of probabilities, you probably want to have a pretty firm conviction as far as why you're doing what you're doing. Are you doing a trade? Are you getting into a trade because you don't want to miss out because there's been maybe a lot of movement, a lot of action, and you're thinking, I want to be involved. Look at, if I would have just done this, if I would have just shorted here or bought there, I could have made so much. Or are you sitting back being patient, waiting, really for the market to show you what it's wanting to do? And, the interesting thing is, the tricky thing is that you never know how long it's going to take until you have a clearer picture of what's going on, right? So it just takes a lot of patience and discipline in order to have a kind of an idea of what's going on, especially if you're going to throw money after your trade. If you're making a trade and you're wagering a certain amount, you want to have some conviction about it. You want to have a good why for what you're doing. And if your why is simply, I got to be active, I got to be trading, or I don't want to miss out, I've got to look at all this movement so far, I got to get involved. If that's your why, I suppose that's fine, but as long as that's part of your process. If it's not part of your process, right, if you're usually sitting back, waiting, you're patient, but then we get a day where there's big movement and you find yourself a little bit trigger happy, needing to get into trades, having some concern, some fear that you're missing out, then that wouldn't be following your process well. So that's kind of the analogy that I use regarding watching the market, letting it set up. So right now we're 41 minutes into the trading day. I haven't taken a trade yet, and who knows, maybe in the next 10 minutes I will have taken 3 trades, or maybe in the next hour I will have taken none. It's just hard to say, and I guess it's the uncertainty that goes with just watching the market. So it's an analogy that I use, and hopefully it's helpful to some of you guys out there. Another thing is just so important is timing. Timing is just so important. So I was on a walk this morning, and I was going, sometimes I avoid this path because at a certain time the sprinklers are on at a neighbor's house, and I don't want to get wet. I'll just go around and I'll walk on the street, or go over to the other side of the street, walk on the other sidewalk. And today I was like, I'm gonna walk through. I'll just wait, and then I'll go. So it was interesting in that I didn't have to stop stride at all, and there were 3 sprinklers that would have hit me, but the timing of the way that I was walking, and this wasn't anything I planned out, but it just so happened that the timing of me walking through that area was just perfect, right? Like I'm walking, dodge the sprinkler. Continue walking, that one's just missing me. And then continued walking, didn't slow my pace, didn't adjust anything, just happened to kind of skate right through it. And it just kind of spoke to me as far as man, timing's important. Timing is everything. And 2, how often I will walk around it because I don't want to wait, I don't want to time it. But, with trading, even if you got a level that you like, that's fine. And I do this often where I've got a level that I like and I get in it. And I'm usually in it a little bit too soon. I need to remind myself that it's better and it's good to wait, let the trade develop, give it some time, and then try to catch it as it's turning or as it's about to move forward and go in the direction you were wanting it to. So for what it's worth, timing. Let's see what we do here. See what we do. So down here again, trying to recover. I feel like the bulls would want to get it above this 4,006 level, and then obviously got to get it above 12. Still got another minute and 15 to go on the 5-minute bar, right? Yeah, and then another minute and 15 until we get a new 15-minute bar. feel like the bulls got their work cut out for them. It would appear that way. It would appear that way. So, again, we're just going to sit back. We're going to watch and observe. Let the market show us what it wants to do. Maybe we find a spot to get involved. Maybe we don't. If there's nothing to do today, that's all right. There's some times where the trade sets up and it just kind of presents itself to you on a platter. There's other days where that's not the case. I feel whenever I have to look too hard, when I'm just searching for what's going on, I need to just sit back, be patient, and wait. So let's see here. Let's see what they do at 4,004, right at the overnight low. Again, I'm not involved. I haven't taken a trade yet this morning. Just watching and observing. Trying to get a feel for what the market's wanting to do. Oh, thanks, David. Yeah, all analogies break down at some point. I'm sure more of mine break down than hold, but there's just things you think of during the day that help you along your journey, help you along the path. So, yeah, for what it's worth, again, you get what you pay for, right? This is free. No one's holding the gun to your head, and you're not paying. So that's what I thought. That's some deep thoughts. Wondering how low we go here. Now, I tend to, just by nature, I tend to be an outside-in trader. I'm usually looking for a capitulation of a move and then fade it and go against it. I will be the first to admit that I'm trying to get better at an inside-out trader, meaning that so let's say if I'm getting short somewhere here, that'd be, well, I guess it'd be outside, but working on trying to go with the trend a little bit better. Being an outside-in trader, on days that are trend days, those used to be ones that would just chop me up. They just murder me. Really difficult to deal with. But, as I've gotten patient, more disciplined, they're not as bad. But, you figure, well, why fight the trend? Let's just go with it. So, at this point, watching to see what we do. This little 08 could be telling. This little wick right here. Just want to see if we just continue the downside, which we very well may. Let's see what we do here. Still got another minute and 45 to go. I'm considering a short here at this level. Watching 08. I'm going to short a little bit right here. Watching 08, I'd like to see it hold below that. Doesn't mean it can't get above it, but don't want to see it hang out above it for too long. So on this trade where I'm short, I really don't want to see it above 40.12. And then target's going to be down a little ways. again, this is a trade that I'm really not super familiar with, doing it like this, looking for a continuation of a push downward. So try my best here to be disciplined and patient, let the trade work out. And if we get much lower than this, 4,000, if we start to come down here and break that, I'll obviously move my stop a little bit tighter. So 5 minutes looking a little wonky to me. Let's see if we can get some continuation on the downside here. I am going to put my stop now just here at 4,008 and see if we can't break below some of these levels down here. Time frame, what's the time frame? I'm going to say less than 30 minutes. So I'm short at 03. I've got my stop at this point just at 08. If it's showing strength and wants to be strong and comes up here and fails again, I might potentially try another short. I might not. But again, I'll be the first to admit that these trades for me are not, they're not ones I keep in my toolbox or my repertoire. So I'm trying it. I'm in 50% of what I'll allow myself to trade. Just got about 5 points worth of risk on this thing. So I feel like a decent risk to reward. So short 03, first target would be, well, I don't know. I don't have a clear idea. I know there's definitely some support down here in the high 80s, mid 80s. So first target, I'm going to look for 93. All right, let's see if we can break here. Probably take half off at 93 and then see if I can get some to run. I'm going to move my stop a little bit tighter now. That. I'm going to buy back half of it right here at 99. And then the other bit of the stop is going to be at 06. So we got another minute and 15 to go on this on the 5 minute bar. Ideally, I'd like to see it end weak and then just have a nice push lower. So we did take out the low. We're not getting any continuation now. So that's interesting to me. I'm out of half of it here at 99. I got out. So took 4 points on that. And then the rest of it, the other half, I've just got to stop at 06. Same thing. I feel like the Bulls have their work cut out for them, but if the Bears can't push it much lower, might see a bit of a reversal. Okay. On this, I'm going to bring my stop back to break even, which is 4,003 at 3.25 actually. 4,004. That's why I have it. That way, I can at least lock in a little bit of profit. Not much though. Yeah, let's see what we get here. So got close. Had my stop at 06, then moved it to 04, and got out a half of this thing at 39.98. I shorted at 4,003, thinking and anticipating that we'd get a bit of a continuation moving down. Let's look at the 5-minute. Here's the 5-minute right here. I'll move that out of the way here in a second. Okay, still got a little while on this 5-minute bar, so let's see if in fact this is the one. Let's see if we can get a bit of a push on this. My first target was 93. We got close to that level and couldn't do it. So I'm going to take a little bit off right here. I'm still in 30% of this original trade. And my stop on this last piece is going to be 4,004. Where are we at? Yeah, right there. I don't want to see it get above that. There we go. So took some off the table there at 96. Initially when I got short, I was looking for 93 as a first target where I was going to take off half. We got close to it. We got down to 94 half, so I almost got filled. Didn't get it there. And that is that. Still another 2 minutes on the 5-minute bar. It's an interesting market to me. Some interesting price action. Bulls trying to defend that big. Here, let me adjust this a bit. So Bulls trying to defend this big run up that we had here. Definitely got some support or congestion or whatever you want to call it. Probably around like the high 80s, low 90s, and that's why I was trying to peel off a little bit more at 93. I've got just a little bit more on here. We'll give this 5-minute bar another few minutes until it closes. But let me change this to 5-minute. Show you what I'm seeing here, what I'm looking at. So ideally, to me, this thing closes below, 5-minute closes below, call it 4,000 even. So we can close down here on the low. Maybe we can reclaim a little bit more. But we'll see at that point if the trend continues or if the selling pressure downward stalls and we get a bit of a turn back upward. So I think that's going to be it for this one. Not to say that we can't go a little bit lower, but I feel like we get a pop before we go lower. I'm not getting along here though, not at this level, not yet. And maybe something changes to where I do. I'm still short, but this little runner that I'm trying to hold. Okay, I'm out of my position, so it didn't really work out the way I wanted, but that's part of trading. You got to be flexible. Took some profit on that, so it wasn't bad. First trade of the day. Had to wait a while. Had to wait about 50 minutes to get involved there. 45. Let's go down to the 1 minute here. Could this be the one here where we push lower? So I mentioned that 4,000 level right here. I mentioned that the bears would want it below that. We had a quick little push up. Now the battle zone is this 4,000 area. If you held a gun to my head, I feel like I would choose that we go lower. I don't feel like much lower, but that would be my guess. Let's see if we get the move here. And the question is, if we go lower, where do we go lower to? So even if we get a pop here, I'm not a fan. I feel like how far the bull's going to take it to. I just feel like they don't have it in them to push it up that high. Again, I could be totally wrong. I'm aware of that. Here's our 15 minute. Here's the overnight action. Here's 5 minute. So if bulls do take it up, I mean, how long does the party last? And maybe it lasts a long time. Maybe this is the low of the day and they get it up and, cram it on up here. So back to the analogies, right? So in this instance, I had a thesis and analysis and was waiting for the picture to be painted and developed. thought I had a grasp on what was going on, and so got involved and remained flexible, wasn't rigid, just trying to adapt and adjust with what the market was doing, what it was showing me. And made a little bit on the trade. Reserved financial, mental, emotional capital, which is always a good thing. So let's see how strong maybe the bulls do take out 12. Maybe they do. It's a little bit of buying here. Back in observation mode, just hanging tight, waiting, watching to see what develops. I feel like this wick here was a nice tell when it came up to, when we couldn't push over here and came up, then a bit of a retrace. Now we're back up here. So this is the 1 minute chart. Up to 08, back up to this area. Let's see what happens here. Still got another 3 minutes until we put in a new 5-minute bar. Just waiting. Well, anyone else take any trades today? Anyone else getting involved at any levels? Any areas you like? So I'll be here another hour. I just watched the first 2 to 2.5 hours during the day. Alright, so a little profit taken there at 12. Nothing major. Nothing major. We'll remind ourselves too that we can and will have a winning performance every day. I define winning as, or a winning performance, following the process well by simply watching and observing, right? Not fearing that I'll miss the move, giving the market time to set up and do its thing, and then just executing with stops and targets in place. $4,003, nice tech for a +6. Yeah, that's great, and it makes me think. That's right where my stop was. I knew, being short, if it takes out '03, I don't want to be short anymore. So, good trade. As per usual, right? I'm like a broken record with you. Oh, good trade, Tech T. Good trade, good job, well done. But hey. Okay, so 12, still an area of contention for the Bulls. So we're an hour and 15 into the trading day. Taking one trade today. It's worked out okay, but I had to be flexible with it. Look at NASDAQ real quick here. Yeah, nothing to get excited about. Checking out the daily. Here we are. I'm just sitting and waiting, hanging out, just observing. Okay, bull's pushing it higher. All right, and just like that, we are back. We are back. Okay, let's see. 20. Just like that, the bull's back in control. Getting closer to opening range. Still got another 20 seconds till we close out this 5-minute bar. Been a good move on this 5-minute bar. We're up 10 points, 12 points in the last 5 minutes. Bull's definitely reclaiming some territory here. back up to the top area of that overnight congestion range. So let's see what they do here. Another 2.5 minutes till we get a new 5-minute bar. 5 minutes is pushing up, looking pretty strong here. Got another 1.5 minutes till we get a new 5-minute bar. Considering a short here to see a little bit of a pullback. I'm not involved yet. Target would be 18 to 17. Another 30 something seconds on the 5-minute bar. Watching and observing, just letting the market tell me what it wants to do. Hanging tight. Bulls trying to take it higher here. See if they can do it. Still got another 2.5 minutes till the top of the hour. We will have put in a new 15-minute bar, new 5-minute bar. Pardon me. All right, another minute and a half till we get a new 5-minute bar. Getting interesting here. Getting interesting for sure. Watching what's happening here, looking to potentially pull the trigger. Considering a short here, I'm not involved yet. Granted, I said that when we were at 40.23. Now we're at 40.28. Watching to see though. Watching to see. I'm going to sell just a little bit right here. Don't want to see it get too far above 34. First target's going to be the low 20s. Same thing. I'd like to see it stay below this 34 level. Looking for a bit of a pullback. Big 15-minute bars though, big 5-minute bars. We've come up quite a good ways. Bulls really got a hold on this thing. They've just run it straight up since bottoming out down there. Alright, there's my 34 level. Got there pretty quick. Ideally, I'd like to see it hold 34. It can poke its head above, but to get some kind of pullback, I'd like to see it, retrace a little bit. Still got another 2 minutes on the 5 minutes, so we could end up quite a ways higher. Could be up here at 38. I'm in 50% of what I'll allow myself to trade. My average price is 40.29 quarter. Mindful that we've just been up and away past few minutes here, past 30 minutes really. Still got a while on the 5 minute bar. Still no signs of weakness. Not yet, at least. Not yet. 15-minute bars just up, and up. 5 minute bar pretty much the same. Still got another 2 minutes on the 5-minute bar. We're not showing any sign of backing off yet. Bears need to get it below this 40-30, I'd say. The longer we hold above that, I feel like the more chance we have of just going and taking out new highs. Another minute and a half till we get a new 5-minute bar. Let's see what's going to happen around here. One more minute on the 5-minute bar till we get a new one. And this market in the last 30, 35, 40 minutes, it's just been up, up, up. So just watching and observing now, seeing if we can get anything going. I know I mentioned 34 and it poking above that. I'd still like to see it, if it gets above it, I'd like to see it pull back and retrace, stay below that 34 level. But to help me out here, the downside though, Bears really, I feel they got to get it below 40-30 in order to get any kind of decent pullback. I feel like the longer we stay above that 40-30, the more likely that we could push higher up into here. Looking for a pullback to about 24. I'm considering lightening my load here. I'm in 50% of what I'll allow myself to trade. I've thought about lightening up a bit, shedding some of it. Give it a little time. So we got another, 2.5 minutes till we put a new 5-minute bar in. Back up to that 34 level. Showing some strength here. Close to flattening. I'm not out of it yet though. Alright, it's 5-minute bars, got another 30 seconds till it's done. Looks like it may end on a high, and I'm not a fan of that. Really feel like to show weakness, we got to get below 34, and we're not doing that. So I'm pretty close to pulling the plug on this thing. Just being done and out. Coming up to the high of the day. High of the day looks like 40.41. So 34 is hanging in there. I haven't sold any more just yet. There we go, just blasting off. Alright, got another minute to go on the 5-minute bar. Again, bears, I really believe the first area they want it below is 40.34. Then they'd want it below 40.30. Who knows if we get that? So another half minute to go on the 5-minute bar. I'm going to sell a little bit more right here. Looking for a retrace at least down to that. Got to get it below 34. Not getting much love just yet. Not getting much. So we've come up. Bulls are just keeping it strong. They're not letting it fall at all. Had a big run up, and they're just sticking to their guns so far. Still another 2.5 minutes to go till we put in a new 5-minute bar. Bulls keeping it strong right here at this level. Let's take a quick look at NASDAQ real quick. Quick look real quick. Let's see where NASDAQ's at. I'm almost flattened out. Almost flattened out of this one. We're trying to put in new highs of the day. If we do, I don't want to see them get taken out. Yep, there we go. Got my stop just above, another point away. We're almost there. And I'm out. All right. Boy, that was a rough one there. Fighting the trend on that. Well, that's probably going to be it for me today. Had that decent little trade earlier, and then tried to get short here, and then added some more up here, and it's just a strong market. So got my insurance policy in place. That is my stop. Never feels good to have a getting taken out of a trade with a stop, but man, it does protect you, and you gotta keep your powder dry to live to fight another day. So trying to fight City Hall at that point. Ryder, I have not tried E-Trade or ESTradeSignals.com. Only one way to find out, I guess. Hopefully they're not charging too much a month. you know. But if it's 50 or 75 bucks, maybe try it, see if you like it. If you don't, that's cool. Do something else, figure something else out. So this, let me drag my daily into the screen here. This is what I was mindful that we might see that I wasn't wanting to see was just a bullish reversal. Doesn't mean that we finished there, but we came down, sellers couldn't push it any further, and then here we are. Took out the highs from the other day, and now just pushing higher. So strong potential signal there. I was hoping that we'd come up, waver a bit, and then maybe pull back in. I mentioned like 24, mid-20s. That didn't happen. So yeah, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. Sometimes you got a great feel for what's happening, and other times not so much. And first trade was managed well. Second trade I took was not managed that well. This one back up here, but enough to trade another day. Look at NASDAQ. I would assume, yeah, so NASDAQ hasn't taken out highs from yesterday. ES could be the one that's just pulling this guy up or holding it up. But it's getting close, kind of knocking on the door. Emini doesn't look like it's showing any signs of weakening, so I'm not going to try to fight it and fade it here. Buy pressure. Yeah, buy pressure's been pretty good ever since we just held that, and then we've taken off. Just really shot quite a bit higher. Tech tried getting long with their 40. Entry was 40.11. That would have been a nice one. Tried getting long at 40.11 and missed it. Oh well, that's a good attitude. The oh well versus the pounding your fist. So let's see. Well, guys and gals, this is going to wrap it up for me. Hope you traded well. Hope you stayed disciplined. Hope you're reading the market well. If you're not, no need to trade. There's always another setup that's going to come along at some other time. some other point. Have a good rest of your day, and I will be back mañana. We'll see you.